What's up, and welcome to episode 42 of Brewing Through the Multiverse. I'm Mike,
I'm Joel.
and this is a Magic the Gathering podcast. I got to make sure I throw that in every time.
Is it a Magic the Gathering podcast?
On paper, for the demographics, yes, it is. Right. So I was going to say before I hit record, but now that we're recording and it's too late, I'll just let you know on air. I gotta start checking the YouTube. We're getting comments and stuff, and I'm just leaving them ghosted. So
Oh yeah, we have to respond. Thank you if you left a comment. That's cool.
yeah.
Were they just terrible making fun of us, or
No,
were they
someone
good
was looking for
comments?
the original 7 episodes. So it was on YouTube, and they wanted to know where the first 7 were. I told them it was on Spotify and Apple because we were only doing audio at the time. So there's no
Yeah.
YouTube of them. So if you're on YouTube and you want to see the first 7, it's on
Thanks,
Spotify.
dog. Random dog listening to us. Go find those
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah. It's like
Go
a
yell
treasure
at Troy to come back.
hunt. I'm sure we could get him to join in on us for a little bit. I think we've looked into this. We can get 3 people on this screen and we'll make it happen one day. Holiday event.
Yeah.
But
Council.
so yeah, so if any of you you ghouls out there want to log on to YouTube and leave comments, I'll reply. Apparently.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
as of today. Today we're replying.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, how's your week been?
No, not too bad. Not too bad. Big week for Magic the Gathering, and that's always exciting. It's been fun because there's been so many like comments and things. Like normally like the subreddits and things like that like get kind of stale in between spoiler seasons. You know what I mean? Custom art starts to show up a lot more, like people on the EDH subreddit complaining about like people out there LGS like not showering or whatever. But it's been good eating, just eating the popcorn, watching all this shit go down. So
Damn. All right. Well, you got to fill me in on some of that stuff. I have been kind of clocked out this week. I do know about the WotC takeover and all that stuff, but damn, I've just been making knives. I'm on my other obsession this week. But let me just say, I'm drinking Treehouse still. We got that Treehouse. This is the very green 10th anniversary, so it's a special can, and it is delicious.
So since we're on WotC taking over, Commander, as you sip out of that dainty glass, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What have you heard? What do you think? Because everyone needs to know what we think.
Exactly. Well, so that's kind of where I want to start. Is I heard it and I had an initial opinion. That was what I thought, and then the internet told me to think otherwise. The internet, put me this way. It's like if you're running towards something, and I know where you see like a herd of people running in another direction, you just kind of instinctively want to start running with them. So my initial reaction to this whole thing was cool, nice. If anything, this just makes more sense. This is how it should have been in the first place. It's easier on the 5 guys who, and gals who are trying to decide this stuff. Now it's on Wizards because at the end of the day, Wizards has the final say anyway. Like the community is just a suggestion. We are our own
not
committees.
Before.
But like what is it? The Sheldon, the original Sheldon crew.
Yeah,
was
the RC.
just a recommendation. Yeah, because they're not affiliated with the game. And as much weight as we want to give them, they're just a suggestion for us. So like we could be our own committees if we need to be, but at the end of the day, I think WotC should have it. So that was my initial reaction. And then on the internet, everyone's telling me, how bad it is, how now they have control, they're going to push power cards, do this. They're doing all that already. WotC is pushing to make as much money, but also make sure that we're playing. They want the long game too. So I have faith in WotC. They want money, but they always take care of their game. I think it's better that these people don't have to try to tell other Magic players how to play. And one of the things that I listened to, they were saying how like it was fine when you're controlling a small group of people. Then it was fine when they were controlling a big group. But now it's like tens of millions of people trying to, all follow the same rule. I just think it's too much. So I was happy about it, but listening to it, I feel like I'm supposed to be upset that Wizards has it, even though I think it was their baby, in the first place. So how about you?
I liked the way Rachel Weeks on the Command Zone put it on their response episode, saying, basically saying like, when the rules committee first, created Commander, it was like, a kitten. They had a little kitten, and then it's grown up, and it turns out that kitten was actually a tiger cub, and and then they have a full blown tiger, and not necessarily have the capabilities to take care of a tiger, and maybe that's like, this is the time when you call the zoo. Maybe the tiger mauled somebody, and now you got to call the zookeepers and who have the tools and resources to kind of like handle tigers. um I'm pro WotC taking it over. I'm in the club that thinks like, the rules committee has been basically hands off for like, the past like 4 or 5 years, with really like, Golos, random band, which wasn't terrible, Iona, it is what it is type of bands, but really haven't done much. And like you had said before, like Wizards was already printing OP commander cards like before. Like them having the format or not having the format would not change their mentality in terms of built like creating powerful cards to sell packs. Like there's always what they're gonna do, their business, they're gonna keep doing it. And then honestly, did you watch the stream that they had where Aaron Forsyth, Gavin Verhey, and shit, I forgot who the other person was, but had like basically like just a round table discussion about it.
No, I didn't hear anything about that, but those names right there are comforting to know that that's who's talking about it.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up on the side while I'm talking here. But on the believe it was the first, they had like this like town hall kind of meeting where they kind of explained some of their thoughts behind it. So one of the things is that like apparently the way Pauper runs and the way they kind of want to approach commanders, they have like a committee that they use to like help influence decisions, and they're going to be inviting people of the rules committee and people of the commander advisory group. There you go, pinned on Reddit. A commander advisory group to like kind of inform those decisions. So some of like the original people are still going to be around, still like making decisions. So a couple of the big things is like beyond the initial ban list changes, they don't want to make changes too often. So that'll be exciting. I know I'm kind of hopping around, but a big reason why I'm a big fan of WotC taking over is because the RC had a pretty strict mentality of that they cater for casual, which Commander's a casual format. I totally understand. But besides the flash ban where they said it was like a once in a lifetime kind of thing, they don't really care for like the CDH metagame and whatnot, which as somebody that likes to dabble in higher power Commander, it's kind of frustrating too, because it's like my whole big thing against the bans were that like let people play those cards in pods if they want to, and just don't play them in pods with people that like don't want to see that. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that would have been a better way to handle it than just like across the board you can't play it anymore. So I'm hoping that with WotC in control, they will think like, hey, there is a community of people that are going to play the busted cards and spend the extra money on that, and maybe we make a bracket 5, and bracket 5 is CDH, because I know that they kind of talked more about their bracket system idea, and I think that's better for everyone. Just give people more chance to play with more cards.
That's a really good idea. So we have our 4 brackets, and then any banned card is a bracket 5 card. That way, if you say you're playing bracket 5, it's a banned deck. That's a simple answer.
Wouldn't even be banned. Yeah, just like this is only for bracket 5 competition.
Right. And then
Now,
nothing needs to be on the ban list. It's just now clear in its own bracket that if you're playing this, these are cards that were considered banned but are playable in this bracket.
I still think there'll be cards on the ban list even in that circumstance, but I feel like it'll be a lot less.
Yeah,
like anti cards. Yeah, things that are just like dumb, like
Yeah.
just don't make any sense. The anti cards like silver bordered cards, though they have that silver bordered project going on, which now that WotC's here is basically taking a back seat to the bracket power level thing. So
Yeah.
listen, I bought a Gristle brand. We'll see. I don't know if it'll happen. I bought a Gristle brand and a Coalition victory. So we'll see if either one of those go on band.
Coalition victory. Hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I want to see that out there. I was going to buy a Paradox engine. They're only like $3 and something cents. But if I buy one, that means I'm buying 25 petitioners with it. So we'll see about that. I'll wait till it gets unbanned and then I'll pay the $25 for it. But how do you feel about bans altogether now? Like now that WotC's taken over and now that the bans are in review, what would you actually like to see done to the ban list? Left alone? Change?
No, I would say unban most things.
All right,
I'd like to see a wide swath of unbanning.
Yeah, I agree very much.
With the idea being that it goes into bracket 4 and or bracket 5 if they make one. You know what I mean? Like just like we said, like, you know, if it's a bracket 4 tournament, you're gonna expect like this shit, but if it's not, then you know, don't play, you know, demonic consultation Thoracle.
Okay, so we're in a spot right now where we don't really have a leader in charge. This is like a handover of power, and in the handover, there's kind of a lack of leadership. Are you honoring the Mana Crypt Jewel Lotus bans? Because the people who banned it stepped down 48 hours after they banned it. So are we honoring this?
I'm going to until WotC says one way or another. If they are formally like, okay, we've reviewed the ban list, these are gonna stay banned. We're sorry, but it is what it is. Then I'll probably end up just respecting that. But maybe with the caveat that I'll have one deck that has like a Mana Crypt in it, and we'll, you know, rule zero that out.
Okay. Yeah.
But for the time being, you know, while it's like a kind of, I'd consider it a pending no, basically, because they said they're going to review it, and I know it, like, it's in their best interest to unban it probably. So I'm going to wait for that. But like I said, yeah, if they definitively say no, it's not coming back, I'll run it in one deck. If they say yeah, it's coming back, I'll run it in the decks that they were in. But for now, they're coming out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take mine out too. But I'm keeping them sleeved up and ready just in case anything changes. My biggest wish from this whole takeaway, and you kind of mentioned it, is the silver border cards. I would like silver border to be legal, and then just let us choose whether it's in it or not. Now I know for tournament and all that stuff, I get it, but like I would love to put some silver bordered cards into a commander deck. I just think commander's exactly where these silver border cards should reside, and the fact that none of them are playable besides these acorn cards is kind of a bummer. Or the acorn card, you know what I mean. But I want silver bordered. That's what I want. So
yeah.
How would you feel having silver bordered at a table?
It depends. There's some silver bordered cards that like we've talked about this before, but like completely fit within a Magic game. Some of them I would want it to be like a silver bordered quote unquote game, because like there's definitely some that are like so silly that I feel like it would kind of take me out of the game if it's like, you know, we're all playing regular Magic and somebody's like, okay, every time that you cough, this gets +2/+2. You know what I mean? Like that's just like kind of crazy to me. And I don't know if I'd enjoy that as much in a regular game, but like I do wish that some of the less silly ones, like Baron von Count, I've mentioned a million times, but I feel like that can handle being in a game, because all it's saying is like you use a doom counter to track time.
Yeah.
And we've already gotten so many
counters now.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like cards like what is it? Cut Down? Is that the standard card where it's like combined power and toughness of 5? Like I feel like we're already starting to get some cards that are beyond like the printed thing is the thing, like that you have to do a little simple addition to like figure it out, or like, you know, choosing the number of paws on your season of whatever card. I feel like we're starting to get like, slightly outside of the box type of cards, and I don't feel like things like Baron von Count are that far out of the box where they couldn't be played.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a portion of silver bordered that are totally fine to come in here, and I think I might be the one to push it if I find a deck that fits any of them properly. I think I'm just gonna start shoving them in, and if anyone has a problem with it, I won't run them again. But I think I'm gonna just sneak them in. So we'll see. That's how I feel about the test cards that were in the mystery boosters. How do you feel
Yeah.
about them?
Those are cool. Yeah. Those I always wish that I could have drafted mystery booster to play with them actually, because some of them are pretty fucking cool designs. And it's also cool to see. I don't know if you ever looked up like compilations of playtest cards that became actual cards afterwards, but those are pretty
No.
interesting to see how they actually like utilize a lot of them. I mean, I think my favorite by far is Indicate, a 0 mana spell that just targets creature, and that's it. So
Damn.
I don't
Yeah.
know where you'd
Yeah,
use that, but
yeah. I'm gonna put one into a deck that I'm building right now. And again, this is this thing where I'm sneaking it in. I'm gonna try it out in a deck. I mean, we don't play anywhere to, you know, everything we play is casual. So like as it sneaks out, you guys should be okay with it. If there is an issue, like I said, I have no problem taking it out. But I think I'm gonna start sneaking some of those cards into just to keep the variance and the fun of it. And these cards should get some attention because Commander, if there was a format for these test cards, it's Commander. So I'm going to give it a go. And the first one is going to be High Troller. That'll be the first one that gets thrown in.
I love
So,
that.
yeah, it fits what I try to do so much. I thought that should be the first card that I put in. I've been talking about it for a while, so I'm just doing it.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah, while the whole ban list is being shaken up, I'm gonna sneak in there and try to, take advantage of it. I had a foreman who told me once, whenever a job is going down, whenever something goes wrong, and the GC is upset, or like the client has to hold off, and there's chaos happening. He said to me, "Chaos is money. Whenever there's chaos, it means you can take advantage of the chaos." And as a Rakdos player, that resonated. So like as all of this is going up and everyone's even questioning the ban list and who's in charge and whatever, your boy's gonna put in some cards that he shouldn't and see how they play.
Yeah, that goes. Yeah, nobody's
Yeah.
looking. You can sneak them in.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Well, I like it. I'm excited to see where this goes. This has been a fun adventure. It's fun to hear everyone's opinion. And like I said, a lot of times I feel like I should be feeling a different way, but there's so many people saying the same thing. It's this echo chamber in our community that it's like, yeah, I guess I'm supposed to be mad at WotC, but
Yeah, I feel
at the
like
end of
it's
the day, I feel-
overwhelmingly would rather WotC have not, and a very small group of like, I think it'll be fine. And I'm
yeah,
on team. I think it'll be fine.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, WotC hasn't done us wrong yet. They're doing a
I
great
mean,
job. Look,
they've done some things wrong.
they try. I would like to say, like, what? Like, they try to take our money. I would say the most wrong thing they did was those $1,000 30th anniversary packs.
Yes,
Rubbed me
that's
wrong.
hard. That
But again,
Secret Lair Fetch Lands was another one that I feel like was
yeah,
just
that was a
a
little weird.
abomination.
But that's just them overreaching, asking for a little too much money. And we can't blame
Masters
them on that because
25.
they've got to find the edge. And all we got to do is say, no, that's too far. And they go, okay, I'm sorry. And they back up and they apologize. They're very responsive to that because they can
Yeah.
also tell us to fuck ourselves and do it a second time too. But they're responsive. Everybody makes mistakes. And WotC, you're taking good care of all the formats. Standard is the best it's ever been. Over a decade of playing Magic, Standard is the best it's ever been right now. So
That's a perfect transition.
yeah. Okay, so have you played any Standard at all?
No, beyond starting to kind of like get together a deck list, I bought my 4 Kaidos with my wild cards. I bought my 4 Mind Skinners. right now I'm in the process of basically whittling down like what are the best like removal and counter spells in those colors. And like just kind of like the ratio of those to run.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't
Nice.
know the I don't know that side of things well enough yet.
Right. Okay. Nice. So you're almost there.
Yeah,
You're reaching
I'm
the
like
top of
a
the
day or two away from playing,
list.
probably tomorrow.
Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, I've been playing the Manifest Dread cards. I had said that I had built a Simic and a Gruul Manifest decks, see how they play. Um, by far, the Simic is a better deck. The Gruul is good, and you can get super powerful swingy things because big green creatures and the red. But I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same as what the Simic is doing. So Simic is built around dumping everything into the graveyard and taking advantage of the Abhorrent Oculus. So Abhorrent Oculus is 2 blue 5/5, so 3 mana 5/5. As an additional cost to cast a spell, exile 6 cards from your graveyard. It has flying, and at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, manifest dread. So as long as you're dumping stuff in your graveyard turn 1 and turn 2, which is super easy, there's a good chance that on turn 2, if you manifest, you can get an abhorrent Oculus out on the battlefield as a manifest on turn 2, and turn 3, you just flip it. Turn 3, you have a 5/5 flyer, you swing for 5, and then at the beginning of their upkeep, you manifest and you get a new creature. And it could possibly be another eye. Ways to get cards into your graveyard on turn 1 is, let's see here. We have Waterlogged Hulk, which is a 1 mana artifact that you could just tap to mill. And this is from Ixalan, so you can craft it with an island to make it a 4/4 creature also. So it's nice to just turn 1, drop this, and start milling a little bit. Patchwork Beastie is a 1 green artifact creature, which is nice because it's an artifact and a creature. So for Delirium, it helps a lot. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard a card. So that's a 1 mana 3/3 that lets you discard. We also have, there is a room. Let's see here. I think it's, oh, wait, the room would be a little higher. Okay, so there's a room that has, here we go, 1 mana. When this room enters, surveil 2. So turn 1, you could dump 2 things into the graveyard as well. So ultimately, get things in your graveyard, get Delirium, and then you have your Oculus. You also have Hauntwood Shrieker, which is a 3 mana 3/3. Whenever it attacks, you can manifest dread, and you could also pay 2 mana to flip a creature up. Huge, huge. Omnivorous Flytrap, which has Delirium. And if you have 6 or more creature types, which is super easy in the build I have, whenever you attack, put a 1/1 counter on 2 creatures and then double the counters on them.
Wait, 6 or more creature types, correct? It's
graveyard types. I'm sorry,
card types.
Card types. Yes.
6 or more? 6?
Yeah.
That
You need
seems like it'd
6
be difficult.
I hit it no problem. The amount I'm dumping in my
creature,
graveyard,
land, artifact, enchantment, instant sorcery, and what's your 6th usually?
So I got creature, land,
Artifact,
enchantment.
instance. Oh yeah, enchantment, instant sorcery.
Yeah, and it's balanced out pretty well, so it goes quick. Having the rooms is a good way to get the enchantments in. But I also have this enchantment. It's called Growing Dread. It's a 2 mana flash. When it enters, manifest dread. So technically it's a flash 2/2 because you can manifest. Yeah. But also whenever you turn a permanent face up, put a 1/1 counter on it. So instant speed, you can normally block that dumbass 2/2 that's coming at you on turn 2 with surprise, block it, and now you have this enchantment out.
Is this deck mostly Duskmourn?
Yes.
Are you not including other sets because of wanting to just try the Duskmourn cards, or you just legitimately think that all the Duskmourn cards are just the best fit?
They just legitimately fit in perfectly for this. I'll tell you the cards I have outside of it is Into the Flood Maw, which is the 1 mana return creature to hand. That is my way of protecting myself to these mono red decks, because turn 0 they have out that ley line.
Yeah.
Turn 1 they drop their creature. Turn 2 they're trying to almost kill you. And if on turn 2 for 1 mana I could just return that creature after they've done all this stuff, it shits all over them. So I have Into the Floodmaw as my protection. I have, let's see, Philagi Archaeologist is from Brothers War, and it's a 2-mana 0/3, but it lets you mill 3. And if you don't return a non-land to your hand, you get a 1/1 counter on it. So it's a great blocker, and it gets shit into your graveyard. And the Ever-Flowing Well is another artifact in order to keep my Delirium going. And Ever-Flowing Well is from Ixalan, legendary artifact. Whenever it enters, mill 2, draw 2. And if you have Descend 8, which is super easy, it flips into a legendary land where if you use it to cast a creature, you can make another non-land permanent a copy of that creature. So it's a great way of turning that room that, milled. I drop an Oculus, a Boron Oculus, and now that little land becomes a 5/5 and swings for no problems whatsoever. And it's also a good card draw. And yeah, that's it. The rest is all Duskmourn.
Would you splash in red for the flippy does damage cat that used to use disguise?
That's my next step. Yes, eventually I'm gonna mix the Gruul in with this. I just wanted to see what cards are worth it in either side before I mix it. And yes, that is the only card that's gonna make it. Honestly, I might put some of those Yaris creatures, the 4/4 Gruul creature. But at the end of the day, that flip one is where it's at. Although, because flipping an Oculus would be 5 damage on the flip and then 5 on the attack. So that's 10 damage. I love it. Yeah, we'll eventually get there. One more card I want to shout out. I know I'm really going over on this Manifest Dread, but I think whenever a new set comes out, it's my obligation to test the shit out of what's new. I mean, we need to know what's going on. And Manifest is great. So before I get into this card, another thing that's great is that Vault-Born Tyrant, that
Thunder Junction.
Yes, it's the 7 mana 7/7. When it enters, gain 3 life. When it dies, you get a copy of it. That's also a 7/7, which is also going to gain you 3 life. If you have a creature 4 or more, you draw a card every time. Wild card. But you can manifest them. Manifest Dread, get it out onto the battlefield. And if you have the Hauntwood Shrieker, or there's the red card, the red 2 mana instant that lets you flip card face up, you just flip that 7/7 really early. Obviously, you could think of any card of, Valgavoth or whatever, but just be aware that Manifest Dread is a great way. It's a better way to get cards onto the battlefield and cheat it in than any graveyard shenanigans you can do. It's normally 4 mana to take a card from the graveyard onto the battlefield. It's normally 2 mana to take a card from Manifest to the fucking face. So keep that in mind. Last card I'm going to mention is Valgavoth's Onslaught, which is XX green.
Yeah, it's a cool card.
It's out of control, dude. So for 5 mana, typically I cast it for 5. So that's going to be X is 2. Manifest Dread X times, then put X 1/1 counters on each of those creatures. So I get 2 manifests, which means I look at 4 cards. 2 of them come onto the battlefield, 2 go to the graveyard. And then each one is going to be a 4/4. For turn 5, 8 damage onto the battlefield is fantastic, spread across 2 creatures, and the potential for one of them to flip into something massive is awesome. I mean, because let's say I hit an Oculus on that. For turn 5, I get the 2 4/4s. Turn 6, I flip one of the Oculuses. It's now a 7/7 flyer. The other one I just swing, so that's 7. That's 12 damage I'm swinging at you, and then on your upkeep, I manifest again. There's a lot to it. And then I do have counter spells in this. I do have the return, so it is kind of tempo mid-range, but by far the most fun I've had. I have a ton of different builds I'm doing, mono black, Rakdos, but I gravitate to this deck every time. So check out Standard if you're not playing. It's out of control right now.
I mean, I'm going to try to make my my unblockable Kaido
work.
And
You're gonna probably do really well with it. That's awesome. I'm excited because everything's
Uh,
working. Some of the stuff that comes across is crazy too. So
Whenever we
people are
talk about
trying.
standard, I like to do the top 5 from MTG Goldfish metagame check-in to see if you're seeing
Yes.
it in best of one, which is
Okay.
almost unanimously no. But
Yeah.
you are playing, right? Like you're in like the platinum, you're in like the upper tier standard, right? Like so
Platinum.
yeah, so you're seeing like at least like the upper middle of like what people are running.
No. Okay. So I sit at platinum 4 and 3, which is right when it turns into one bar per win. So typically when you win, it gives you 2 jumps up the ladder. But
Yeah.
once you hit platinum, it only goes one. And once I hit there, that's kind of where I stay because I'm kind of like a 50-50 win and lose. So I don't see diamond or mythic. And I think that's where the higher ups sit because once you hit that tide of only 1 bar per win, I don't really cross that. So,
Mm.
but what do we got? Maybe I'm close enough.
Come in 5th place, we got Rakdos Lizard still.
Have not
Uh
seen any lizards besides that one lizard that makes you discard a card. That's it.
4th place, we have Golgari Midrange.
That's everywhere.
3rd, we got Demir Midrange.
Give me some cards in there.
So
What are some
from Demir
4-ups?
Midrange, we got 4 of Spyglass Siren, the 1-drop 1/1 Flying Pirate, ETB, create a map token. You've got the bats, obviously, fucking bats everywhere. 4-drop Fairy Mastermind. I mean, 4 of Fairy Mastermind, 2 mana for 2/1 Flash Flyer. And when an opponent draws more than 1 card, you draw a card. Preacher the Schism holding it down at the 3-drop spot. And then
Okay.
it looks like people's top end is 4-drop 3 Enduring Curiosities for the card draw for the Coastal Piracy effect. And Urtai Resurrected, 2 of at a 4-drop.
Huh. Okay. So I don't think I've seen that deck. I have seen a lot of the Enduring Curiosities dropped, but I don't know if it was to that shell. But I'm
So I
sure it
guess
is similar.
it's literally just like fly over your opponents with
And
your
draw
one
cards.
drops and draw a shitload of cards to use your cut down, disfigure, fucking get out, go for the throat.
That's a good build. I like that.
Yeah, just little fucks. It's literally getting like poked to death by little fucks.
Yeah, that's very demure. I like it though. That's cool. And again, I've seen certain cards of it. I don't think I've seen that exact shell yet.
2nd place we have Orzhov midrange still, which is just like basically the Demir midrange, except they're swapping out little fucks for like Lauren of the Third Path and Beza Bounding Spring. Liliana the Veil's in there too. And then number 1, which shocked me because based on the metagame, this is 22% of the metagame as far
Hold
as
on.
however.
Can I guess?
Yeah, take a guess.
Well, let me ask first. Is there white in it?
No.
Okay, then I don't fucking know. Go ahead, hit me.
Yeah. Right now, top on according to MTG Goldfish, Gruul Prowess, which is essentially a mono red deck that runs. Looking at the main deck right now, the only thing that it runs that's green is Snakeskin Veil. So I feel like that's hard to call it Gruul. But
Right.
really what it looks like is the 4 Leyline of Resonances.
Yeah.
Looks like you just want to start one, and then you play like your 1-drops, Cacophony Scamp, Heartfire Hero, and Monastery Swift Spear, Emberheart Challenger. So,
Yeah.
playing Little
Yeah. Oh, I
Jammers,
know.
hopefully starting with a ley line out, and then Might of the Meek, fucking Monstrous Rage, Snakeskin Veil. I don't even know if they're running any removal, honestly. I think it's literally just buffs.
It's yeah, because who needs removal when your creature's a 7/3 with trample, and when it
Yeah,
dies, you deal
there
another
is
7 damage to someone?
no removal. It is literally only buffs, like 1-drop buffs.
Hmm.
What an interesting deck. But apparently that's 22% of the meta.
Yeah. I see that all the time. That's why, and so it is dangerous. Like you could have a go for the throat, and they swing with the 7 or 8 something with monstrous rage on it, so it's got trample, and you destroy it. But most of the creatures they have say when this creature dies, deal damage equal to its power to something. So destroying is not the best option. You have to return them to hand to really kind of hose them. I honestly I've not come across a single snake skin veil
Yeah,
or whatever that is. But yeah,
it's a
that's
one
a
drop from
smart
Thunder
thing.
Junction.
Right. So that's worth the gruel because that is how you get them is to just take care of that one creature. So if they have the protection to stop it one time, that's all they need to stop you in order to kill you. So that's a cool aggressive deck as an aggro player, big fan.
I'm just happy Control's not in the top 5 because I think in the standard before Bloomborough it was pretty control heavy, and I'm glad that let's get aggro some time in the sun.
You can do a lot of good control right now too, especially in the artifact world, where you're just countering and stopping shit. There's that artifact from the vault. It's a 3 mana something. Whenever you cast an artifact, you make an artifact equal to the something. And I've been fucked on that where no one's actually casting creatures. He's just making massive artifacts. So I mean, there's room for it. It just who wants to play long-winded games when you could just climb the ladder real fast, you know?
Just smash.
Yeah. But so the card the deck I was gonna guess as the most played because it's something I'm running across the most right now. Is it certain different builds, but around the same premise? It's either white blue or white green, and it's built around Caretaker's Talent.
Okay.
So it's a 3 mana enchantment class that says whenever one or more tokens you control enter, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. So there's a lot of cards that make rabbit tokens. There's that one white mana 1/1 when it enters investigate, which makes a treasure token. And there's this way that they are casting these little fucks that are getting card draw, and the tokens are happening, and then a Mondrak will come out. So now they're making multiple tokens, still drawing only one, but they're getting all of this shit and just spreading it across the board, and then they'll get you that way. But the card advantage is the big problem. And Caretaker's Talent seems to be the glue that's holding this deck together. Otherwise, you just have a bunch of 1/1s. But if you have a bunch of 1/1s and a full 7 cards in your grip, then it's a different story. So Caretaker's Talent has been huge. And that's just a level 1. When you level it up, when it becomes level 2, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. So you pay the 1 mana to level it up. You make a token of whatever, you draw a card. 1 mana, draw a card. That's great shit.
Not bad.
And then you pump it up, and creature tokens you control get +2/+2. So it's super powerful. I'm super excited to see it, and I'm not seeing it yet, but I want to see Caretaker's Talent with some War Leader's Call. I think that's where it's at, because then you have all these little tokens coming in dealing the damage. They're already
Naya
2/2s, you
bullshit
pump this
is what
up.
that's called.
Yeah. The only problem is they're both 3 mana enchantments, so that gets a little hairy, but there's a world where it works.
There's a cool looking Azorius tempo deck here with Abhorrent Oculus.
Really?
Yeah, it's 4-drop Picklock Prankster. 4 of rather.
Okay.
4 of Picklock Prankster. 4
That's
of Abhorrent.
the adventure fairy,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah, so it's a 2 for a 1/3 with vigilance, but the Free the Fae adventure instant is 1 in a blue for mill 4, then put an instant sorcerer fairy from among the milled cards into your hand.
Another great way to get cards into your graveyard early.
Yep.
For Delirium.
And then as far as the spells, it's literally only and Haughty Djinn is the other. So there's 12 creatures,
Ooh.
4 of each of them. One of them is Haughty Djinn. And then the spells it's looking at: Helping Hand to return creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So literally all 12 of your creatures can be hit by that Helping Hand. Into the Flood Maw is a 4-drop. Phantom Interference with Spree. That's pretty cool. Are you running Phantom Interference?
No, no, I'm not. That sounds good.
Yeah, Phantom Interference is one for an instant, one blue with an instant that's Spree. For 3, so 4 total, you can create a 2/2 white spirit creature with flying, or you can pay 1 to counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. So early game counter spell, late game little creature.
That's not bad. So the counter spell I'm running is the 2 mana counter spell where counter target spell unless its controller pays 2, but if they do pay 2, you can surveil 2. So I'm running that one specifically to help continue feed my graveyard. I wonder if maybe they should replace the Phantom Interference with the counter spell I'm running. Because I'm never going to make a 2/2 spirit. This is being held up for a counter spell every time. Now I know you can counter and make a spirit, but I'd rather just have a counter spell that's also feeding my graveyard, I think.
The other thing it's running is 3 steps ahead.
That one, I don't know that one.
Another
What's that?
Blue instant with Spree. For 1 and a blue, so 1 blue total counter target spell, so it's cancel. For 3 colorless, create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control, and then +2 is draw 2 cards and discard a card. So I feel
that
like
I would definitely run.
Yeah,
That's
copying the Oculus, discarding things for graveyard shenanigans.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely add that into my deck. That's nice. The idea of copying an Oculus, because getting a 5/5 is great, but if you have 2 of them, that means on your opponent's turn you're manifesting twice. So that's another 4
That's
damage onto the
disgusting.
battlefield across 2 bodies. Yeah, and 2 more cards in graveyard.
Yeah, and the manifest is basically to block, and then you could just hit with Oculus in the sky. Or it might be another Oculus.
Yeah, or a Haunt Woods, or yeah. Okay, so I have a lot of hope for Manifest, which is cool because Manifest is bolstering the Disguise, which I still have hope for and is not paying out too well. So there's a chance.
As far as standard goes, I was interested to see how the enduring cycle is going, and then how the Overlord, or
yes,
I forget what they're called. Yeah, how are those 2 cycles doing in standard?
The Endurings are showing up more so far, in my opinion. The white one is showing up in those little creature decks. That way, it just, again, it's life gain and drawing. And the blue one is showing up. I've seen that. I have not seen the red. I have not seen the green. I've seen the black ones. So, I mean, the Enduring's coming in. I haven't seen any Overlords. No. I saw the blue Overlord last night, but that was in draft. I'm doing draft. Oh, yeah. Quick draft for Duskmorn is officially live. So,
oh shit, let me get on that. Yeah, now.
Dude,
okay.
I know.
Yeah,
dude.
It's
so good.
That's great. That's this week.
yeah. I have. I started my first one last night. Dude, Duskmorn's great. But anyway, what was I saying? I got distracted because, god damn, it's a good time. Actually, I'm trying to save an exit. Let me see what am I doing. I've won 3 out of my 4 historics here. Quick draft. What am I running? Black green Delirium, and it's doing fantastic.
I was constructing my Black Green Delirio deck earlier today. I'm gonna go back to that after this.
Okay, so my recommendation would be definitely run Drag the Roots.
Oh, in Commander.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Well, hey, run Drag the Roots.
Recon, yeah.
It's a 4 mana instant, destroy target non-land permanent. But if you have Delirium, it's 2 mana destroy non-land permanent. Can't beat that.
Yeah, you can. With a lot of things.
2 mana destroy non-land permanent? I mean,
if you have Delirium.
If you have, otherwise it's 4 mana. But you're gonna have Delirium. It's a Delirium deck. If you're building Delirium, you should throw that in there. But yeah, definitely everybody out there, do some draft while you can of Duskmorn, because I think it only stays in for a week or 2 before they rotate it out. So
do you like it better than Bloomburrow's draft environment?
Yes, only because it's fresh. I drafted so much Bloomburrow that I got fatigued. So it's nice to have a new set. But If I had to choose rank them, yeah, I'd say it's a little better. Only because it's more my play style.
Mhm.
Going wide has never really been what I wanted to do, but a lot of removal and chaos is definitely where I'm at. I like the aesthetic better.
Yeah, super cool. I liked Dustborn a lot, actually.
Yeah. Is there any, because you had asked about the overlords or the endurings? Are you surprised that the enduring is showing up more than the overlords? Are there any overlords you think should be played?
No, because I was mostly curious because I was looking through a commander lens, and I feel like both cycles have like relevance in commander. Maybe not every single one of all of both, but like, you know what I mean? Like I feel that especially the enduring ones coming out as creatures and then they die and it comes back as an enchantment, like that's pretty huge in commander. And then some of the overlord effects, more specifically the Hauntwoods one, the green one that makes like everywhere tokens or whatever the fuck, or puts an everywhere counter on a land. But I think it makes everywhere
Right.
token. It's just essentially like a token that's every land.
Right.
Um, I thought was pretty cool. So I was just interested if they had like the chops to make it into standard.
Yeah. The only overlord I saw was the red one, and it was cast at full, and it dealt damage. That's what because I had said I had seen the blue one, but then I realized it was in draft. But yeah, in standard, the red one is the only one I've seen.
Mm. And is it being cat? You said it was cast as a creature rather than its impending cost.
Yes. So I guess I should say I'm running it in my Gruul Manifest deck. I'm running the red one because for 4 mana, dealing 4 damage to a creature that needs to go is huge. But also it can become a 6/6 for 6 that also deals 4 damage. So I'm running the red one. I've come across the red one, and yeah, we got that going on. It's just 4 damage is a lot of damage to also have onto a 6/6 body. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll check in next week, see if anything's changed. I will be merging the 2 manifest decks together. I'll let you know if it's worth it or just keep it Simic.
And I should have a bunch of games of Kaido under my belt. So
nice. And a draft event. You got to do just one draft because
yeah.
it's
Well, yeah,
worth it.
quick
Have
draft
fun.
is easy.
Yeah. All right. I've got a fun or trash for you today, man. Because I've been feeling this card for a long time, and I cut it and I run it and I cut it and I run it.
It's probably trash.
I know.
It's probably trash.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it up here. I'm gonna see if I can share this screen here. As long
It's
as I can
probably
make it
trash.
happen. It's it's probably trash. All right,
It's probably trash.
let's see if you can guess. What color is it? What color are you thinking I'm gonna pull up here? All right, I think I got this. Let's see if I can do this. How do I do this? Picture in picture screen layout. How do I do this, buddy?
At the
Cinema
bottom
layout?
of it says present. It's at the bottom of the screen next to
Present.
settings.
All right. All right, share screen. Here we go, everybody. Mute website notifications. No. Here we go. We're doing
Better be
this live,
so good
guys.
for all the rigmarole.
It's okay. All right. Do you see it? Is this working?
Oh,
here?
Karu Mind Eater?
Karu Mind Eater.
Okay.
All right. So it is a 3-mana 1/3 with menace. Whenever Mind Eater deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles a card from his or her hand face down. So it's not taking it from the graveyard or from the library. It's taking it from their hand. They get to choose, but you're exiling it. And then you may look at and play cards exiled with Karu Mind Eater. Fun or trash?
Fun.
Awesome. Oh my
Fun,
gosh,
yeah.
that screen.
That card's fun as hell. I like that, it's not three is kind of expensive to play, but at least it has menace for 1/3, and you're really just trying to poke somebody to steal some shit out of their hand. Would I run this in every deck with black? No, but this goes in any deck that's like a clone, steal,
Gonti.
copy. This goes into like a bunch of like those like niche archetypes where you're fucking with their hand, or you're taking their stuff. So yeah, I think this card's a lot of fun. My honestly, the thing that pushes it into fun for me is the fact that it allows you to play lands that they exile. That's
Yeah.
that's the kicker. Because if it was only non-land cards, then everyone would just kind of exile lands to it and it wouldn't do anything. So the fact that it hits lands makes it fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I was originally drawn to this card when it was released by its artwork. I just think that's one of the creepiest, most unsettling things. It's not too gruesome or gory, but there's
Gross.
something about it really. Yeah, it's unsettling, and I liked it. I love the idea of giving it double strike somehow, and just making someone exile 2 cards from hand every time you hit with it. It's not powerful, but I think that's even better. It's just this annoying, life sucking or mind eating thing. So
Amy Mac's wife.
all right, we did it. I did it. Okay. I I presented. Guys, we're both presenting now.
Crossroads here. So then maybe I can present my my sack or taps to you.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited to see this. Yeah, so
right.
we've covered all the important things in Magic. Let's get to the nitty-gritty of what really
This is what people really came for.
Yes.
Our favorite game show, sack or tap. Or
Yes.
tap or
we
sack.
Teased it.
Everyone. Yeah, it's here.
That's
my turn to present.
Yeah. So we have a Rakdos player in our play group, Joey, and he plays what's the commander's name?
Mogus.
Mogus. And at the beginning of everybody's turn, you have to choose sack or 2. So you have to sacrifice a creature or take 2 damage. And that has become the running joke in our play group forever, because forever we are asking each other sack or 2. So the idea of sack or do as our smash or pass is as flavorful as it gets.
Yeah. So right. Now, before we get started, I have this lineup here. I just want to understand the parameters of this. Are you going to be answering based purely on what you see visually on the artwork? Are you going to take into account the situation, or are you going to take into account the possible personality? Are you going just raw image, or is there like context?
Context also. So I am removing myself from all stigmas, prejudices, ideas, social norms. I am going purely by my instinct on if no one was there, would I sack or do? So,
all right.
I'll take first. It all, and I'll justify the choices so we know why. What do we got?
Okay, I'm pulling up my first one. What's
as I say when I do yours, I think I felt weird choosing some, so I might have to do. Oh, okay.
All right, so you can see this, right?
Yes. Angel of Despair.
All right, so I felt I'd give you an easy one to start. Angel of Despair.
Okay. So right off the bat, you get that initiation of, yeah, of course. My problem is I would disappoint her very much. Okay, so anyone who's only listening, it is this bald, beautiful, pale-skinned angel with golden, it looks like a golden one-piece suit, like a bodysuit. She's holding this badass sword and she's looking down at me very condescendingly. So I would absolutely do. But I feel like I would definitely be like the cuck in the situation here. I don't think she would treat me well, and I think I would have to apologize at the end of it. So
word. Okay.
How about you?
See, I mean, if you cut off the head, then absolutely looking at like the rest of it, but it's like the lack of hair for me kind of is a turnoff. Like,
you don't want to lick that head or something?
Nah, like kind of. I agree with you in like I feel like she'd be into some weird BDSM shit, and it's like she'd want me to like burn candles on my nipples or something, and I feel like I wouldn't like that.
You're getting pegged, dog. She's pegged.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna sack.
I gotta say, the bald head ain't too bad, especially with the dark eyeliner. The real dark eye makeup makes up for it. It plays well, so fan.
All right, next.
All right, what else we got?
Loth Spider
Oh,
Queen.
yes. Oh my god, yes. Immediately, yes. No hesitation, no doubts. All about those spider legs. That don't bother me. Um, let's see though. I don't know. I don't know where I'm.
You're going in.
We'll find a way. I'm sure that
Yeah.
spider's got it's
I
got a
feel like I
mandible.
just would because like you're gonna be dead anyway. So like if you have the chance to do like death by snoo snoo on this one,
Yeah. Oh yeah, she'll
I'm
eat you
in for it.
afterwards, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like a mantis or something.
Yeah.
I'm in for this.
Yeah, for sure. I hope I'm the one that impregnates one of those eggs behind her though,
All
you know.
right, Keeper of Secrets. We're getting some Warhammer shit.
Mm, I'm gonna say no. The Squidward chin is a bit
The
too much for me on
Squidward
this
chin
one.
is too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if those extra limbs were hands. I think I'd be good for it, but the fact that they're basically like death dildos on there, I don't know if I could fuck with that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would I'd act like I had something to do that night and she hit me up.
Yeah, attracts
Oh,
look at those legs.
yeah.
Look
Ooh.
at those feet with toes.
Yeah,
He's got
she's got
toes down there.
sculpted legs. I'm gonna have to say yes. I don't want to. Very alluring though. I mean, everything about her says don't approach her, but
But also, yes.
yeah, shit. Yeah, yeah. I want to say no, but I would approach her. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Attracts is a yes for me as well. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Dragon Lord Dramoka.
Yes. Yeah. 100 times yes.
Look at that fucking mighty chin.
Yeah.
I feel like with
Yeah.
Dragon Lord Jamoka, it's not a choice. Like, if a fucking Dragon Lord was like, "I'm taking you as my concubine," you'd have to say yes. You're not really. It's not really a choice
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I feel safe. Like it's not so much the attraction to Dragon Lord Jamoka, but it's just the fucking safety of it. Like
Yeah,
you're gonna
like
have a good
Donkey from
time.
Shrek.
Just snuggle. Yeah. 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 Exactly. I like that analogy. Yeah, Dragon Lord. I would lay in bed with you.
All right, wrap your tail around me. Lazelle didn't pick her actual
Mm,
card because this is more of a body shot.
yeah. I, a little too athletic for me. I don't know. I would say yes, but reluctantly.
Uh,
She
so
would have
this
to come on to me. I'm not approaching her.
it's actually funny that you say that because Lazelle's actually the character I chose to romance in Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, okay. So you have a
Because
history with her.
I
Okay.
do, yes, it's true. And if I recall correctly, I do think that that's how she approaches you. Is that she's just like, "Hey, you're like a competent warrior. Let's fuck," and like you can choose to say yes or no. And then my bard was like, "I'm not gonna say no," and then I softened her heart a little bit, but yeah,
Mm,
Lazelle was my choice.
that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like if she came on to me, I would just instinctively turn it down, but then
All
regret
right,
it later that night.
Emrakul,
Um,
look at that pink hole.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd like to. I'm gonna say no, I wouldn't. Um, but I would like to watch. I just don't
Yeah,
want to partake, but I would happily watch.
I mean, I'm interested to see what do those tentacles do, girl? Like, what are you doing with those little? What are you doing with
All
those
right,
squigglies?
I'll be your cameraman.
What are you doing with
I
those squigglies, girl?
I mean, the noises must be fantastic, that's
Oh
for sure.
yeah, dude, it's got to be insane. Like as your body's being crushed, like that's another death by snoo
Yeah,
snoo.
yeah, yeah, very warm and moist for sure.
This one I thought was cool.
Yes.
Sphinx Ambassador.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Oh, she big. Okay, so we get size of her with that man standing next to her.
Yes, she big.
What milky blue titties she's got going
Yes.
on over there? What? That is so unnecessary on a
Yep.
magic card.
The artist is like, nope, it's got to have these.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't. Would I smash? I don't know, but I would definitely nuzzle up in between her front paws and tits for sure, and just spend the
I would. I mean,
evening.
she's got a pretty face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm pretty sure you could fit it like your whole body in her mouth.
That's
I
hey.
don't know. I don't know. Maybe her ear piercings. I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know where we're making the deed.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know
know.
what? I'm sure you could. I'm sure. Yes, 100%.
We'll
Sphinx
figure it out.
ambassador.
Is what I'm saying
I
with
would.
Sphinx Ambassador.
You can't get ambassador with that ass. So
Yeah.
without ass.
I adore that ass. Old Gnawbone hit you with a lot of dragons today. Didn't know this is a female until I looked it up.
Interesting. No, no,
Yeah, sack for me.
no. Yeah,
Nothing going on there that I wanted to get involved with.
yeah. I'm looking into her eyes, and I don't see any compassion. I think she
No.
would complain about it. You're on my hair. Fucking, go harder. Just nothing but
Yeah.
complaints. No, get out of here. No,
No.
no bone. Oh, don't do this to me.
Look at her looking over her shoulder at you, dog.
Tail up, rarity. Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
Should I just go to the next one so you don't get arrested?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Save you from that.
Ashling. There we go. Okay.
Ashling the Pilgrim.
Just put that right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Hit that one
All
for
right.
you.
Ashling the Pilgrim. Yes. She's got a lot of rhythm. You could tell in her hand movements. A lot of passion. You could tell by the fire in her eyes. Yeah. All for Ashling. Honestly, I would say Ashling is probably the number one on this list so far.
All right, word. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Arlen Cord as a werewolf.
As the werewolf. No, I would wait.
See, this
I would wait.
This to me is like if you can't have me at my like mean, you can't have me at my nice type of situation where I feel like if you're in a relationship with Arlen Cord, like she gets a little drunk and she's like, I'm a werewolf now and she's coming after you. Like I feel like I could if I was with her as a human, I feel like I could get there for the wolf.
Okay. With your context of if you can't take me at my Arlen Cordiest, you can't have me at my, Arlen Wolfiest. As long as I get the other side of the coin. If I'm
Yes.
only approaching this side of the coin, I'll wait.
No,
I'll
yeah, this is a
definitely wait.
no. But I'm thinking like, hey, you're with her when she's a human. That's like, maybe you get your furry on. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. See, as long as I get both sides of that coin, yes. But if this is all I'm getting, I'll wait.
All right. Next, Sidisi.
I've always thought about this one. Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
I started
recently.
actually a little too fast. So I started playing Magic around this time, right around cons. And this was a card that one of my first rares or mythics I ever pulled. And immediately I was like, yeah. So I made up my mind a long time ago. How about you?
Word. I'm as a no because I feel like the zombies. I couldn't do it with like the zombies watching. I don't know what's going on with those zombies back there. They'd have to leave the room.
They don't have to leave. Just turn around. I don't know. I think very, very, very soft. Very soft. So
Magda, the Horde Master.
No, but I'd probably take the dragon behind her. You got me into the dragons now, so
Yeah,
that
now we're
one's
into
mighty
dragon
fine.
mode.
But no, she's too small. She's too
I would say it's a dwarf. She's pretty hot for a dwarf.
Yeah, no, attractive for sure. A big fan, just not quite my type.
And I'm referring to dwarf, the mythical creature type, not any sort of derogatory term towards a person of smaller stature.
Oh my god, come to our
For
podcast where we
our
rate
YouTube
dwarfs.
censors. Demonetized.
Uh,
All right.
oh.
Next we have Vraska.
The
You see what
original
Jace sees.
succubus herself. No, I wouldn't. I would like sext her. I would like to engage, but at the end of the day, I know she's a succubus, and I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in her human, like her less Phyrexian form, you could convince me, but this form is for sure no.
Yeah. I mean, that's like seeing like, that crackhead and being like, well, I'm sure one day she was fine, but
Yeah, not anymore.
these are the circumstances we're left with. And sorry, Vraska.
Admiral Beckett Brass for our gilf side of the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Either artwork. I know this one, it makes her look a little bit more strong and youthful. Either one, for sure. I think she would be a wonderful time, nothing but respect, and you're getting a good breakfast with her in the morning.
Oh, you're getting a kick-ass breakfast. That's the word.
Yeah. She might have to leave pretty early that next day to go handle the fleet, but she's gonna make you let you know you're appreciated, I guess, is what she's doing.
All right, and the last one is Alesha,
who smiles at death. Now, this artwork. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
But I feel like she would be the most vanilla of it all. I mean,
not really, considering she's a transgender male to female.
Okay. Is she still packing?
So I don't know.
Okay. Either way, yeah. And it would be a good time. Alesha, all for it. Although, I don't think she's going to hold up to Atraxa or anything,
No. After Jamocha, it's like, what do you have left?
Yeah. On your deathbed, Alesha is not the one that flashes through your mind.
Nope.
Damn.
All right. Well, that was my Sacred Do. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. Those were all pretty good, man. I'm impressed. I'll get some good ones for you. It's gonna be I'll try to hold it on par. I said it's weird to look through because by choosing, you're already kind of like funneling it into this thing. So I was gonna do some random scryfall stuff, and we'll whether it be a wall or a horse.
Wall or a word.
I'll do a few random tests, see if it's worth it. If not, I'll curate a nice list for you here. Sacred Dew. My gosh. I love it. What are we at here? We're at an hour and 8. Okay.
Perfect time.
Well, listen, we have a concert tonight. We're going to see Knocked Loose with the ladies. So I'm excited for that. I got to go take care of whatever I got to do. That way we get out. I got these chickens I don't know what to do with while we leave. We're in the middle.
Just like run around.
Well, so we're in the middle ground where they can be outside, but they're not quite ready to be out in cold weather. So we can't leave them out overnight. So we have to bring them into the house. But because we're going to be out to really late, if we put them outside, it'll get too cold. So we don't know whether to leave them in the house all day, but they're stinky ass chickens. So we don't know what to do with these fucking chickens.
Bathroom,
guys,
with nothing on the ground, probably, because it's easiest to clean.
Well, we have them in a case that has like a ground with all the stuff. So like they're not pooping anywhere in the house, but I don't know. Don't get chickens, guys. Just buy some eggs at the store. I haven't gotten a single egg, and it's cost me like $450.
Nice.
Yep. And one of them is probably going to die soon because she has an eye infection and a beer beak issue.
Word.
Yeah.
Free chicken nugget.
Chickens. Yeah. Anyway, we'll put him somewhere. Concerts tonight. Let's see what Wizards does with Commander. Hopefully, we are happy, and hopefully the world continues. I'm excited to hear your standard, and we will check in next week, brother.
Later next week as well.
I think we reached the bottom of the glass.
We did reach the bottom of the glass.
Oh yeah, Commander. I'm ready. There will be no mana crypts in my decks, guys. Anyway, till next week, take it easy.
Au revoir.